Continuing our post-race media availabilities, we're joined now by the driver of the number 88 Exalta Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Dale, an exciting finish there. Take us through those last few laps, please.
Well, the 41 was up there trying to save some fuel. He couldn't make it all the way, running hard. And I didn't know if we could. Greg was saying we could, but I didn't see how we were the only ones that could. But we all pitted around the same time. So really, we lost the race on the restart. The 24 and me were racing pretty hard. He was really, trying to get his lead back, and he knew if he could get the lead, he was going to win the race. So he got me loose a little bit. That slowed us up some. The 41 got a good run on us, and I didn't do a good enough job holding him off. I could have been more aggressive, done some things differently. But we ended up getting tight and not really having anything anyways right at the end of the race, and the 41 saved enough. I just started backing my corners up trying to get through the center enough because Brad was catching us, and, well, it was all right. We certainly finished better than we should have. Our car wasn't quite a second-place car. We started off really tight and really slow, probably about a 15th-place car. Greg and the guys made a lot of changes and made the car better. I don't really know exactly how much better we got it compared to the competition, but we certainly made it more competitive. We just didn't get any practice. The driver's been asking NASCAR to take away the morning practice and add a little bit to the second one to make that Saturday practice an hour and a half. And we didn't, it was just an hour. Takes you a minute to run around this track. You can't give it 13 damn laps in practice. I don't know how we're supposed to figure out what our cars are doing. So we came into this race really just with no idea. We made a lot of changes. Last night, we basically put in an old setup that worked in the past, and it started off missing the mark pretty bad. But they worked on it and got it better, and we'll take the points. We've had a rough month, so this is a decent finish for us.
We're also joined now by the driver of the number 2 Miller Lite Ford, our third-place finisher, Brad Keselowski. Brad, Dale just talked about some of the strategy as it was playing out there towards the end of the race. Can you share a little bit from your perspective?
Yeah, I thought we were, okay to start the race. My teammate Joey Logano was really good. It's pretty obvious that if you could get to the lead, you had such an advantage that someone had to be 3-4 tenths faster and you to pass it. So I was just trying to keep the track position all day. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do that with the whatever penalty there. But we were able to drive back up there towards the end and thought we had a lot of speed. Just every car I would pass would take, 10, 15 laps just being stuck in the wake. And it's just, part of it, I guess. So all in all, a pretty decent weekend for us with the Miller Lite Ford and Team Penske. And proud of that effort to run up front and have another solid weekend. We've had a lot of those lately, and it doesn't go unnoticed by me. I'm really proud of my team for those efforts. We just want to keep it going and want to turn them into wins. But all in all, a lot to be proud of, and keep on going. Go to Michigan next week, and hopefully we can get those 2 more spots.
We'll now take questions for Brad and Dale. If you'll just raise your hand, we'll get a mic to you. We'll start right here in the front.
Matt Cottrell, Lebanon Daily News. This question's for Dale. I know you just said, you weren't really happy with your car throughout the day. But just a second-place finish alone, do you think it's still a positive you and your team can build off of, coming off the rough month and coming into a track where you're really good at?
Yeah, it certainly feels better than finishing 15th. And the car wasn't that bad. We just have such high standards after the last couple of years we've had. And, man, when you get just a little bit behind in this series, holy moly, it takes so much work to just regain what you lost, not really to even have an advantage, just to get back to where you were. A 10th out on that racetrack is impossible to find. So it's it's a good step in the right direction. I felt like we could come in here and run good, and I think we learned a lot that we can understand how to get better for the next race here. I'm looking forward to Michigan, and obviously it's going to be a different package, but I think we'll run good on that track too, and anticipate having a good run at Kentucky. We've always done really well on the repaves, so for whatever reason our cars hook up pretty good, or I just like that as a driver. I don't know.
We'll continue with questions. We'll go to Bob and then Zach.
Bob Pockers, ESPN. For Dale, Kurt was obviously able to save a lot of fuel today, and he didn't have his crew chief. Is it any different for a driver when you don't have the normal guy you listen to kind of know whether you really need to save fuel or not?
You know, these teams are so deep, and there's so much good talent. You know, the crew chief's on the pit box, but he's got 4 or 5 other guys up there with him, and they're up there every week, and they understand how the races are working out. And so they got guys within their organization that can step in situations like that. And you'd probably be surprised at how involved the crew chief is in the race weekend, even though he's suspended. Them guys find unique ways to be able to communicate and be involved and be on top of everything the car and the team are doing with the car, even though he's not there to see it with his own eyes. You know, so it's pretty impressive. There's a lot of technologies. You know, they can sit back in the shop and have all the computers and everything and see everything happening on the fly. So, you know, you definitely don't want it. 6 weeks would be a little worrisome, but one race is not a big deal.
We'll go to Zach in the middle, then up front here to Lee.
Zach Tanzoni, front stretches for both you guys. Can you explain the importance of having a good spotter, especially during big restarts like we saw today, 5 and 6 wide? How important is a good spotter here?
Is that me or you?
Both of them.
Well, I think we both got, probably 2 of the best spotters in the garage. And, seems like every race here you get 4 or 5 wide down the front stretch, and you're lucky to see 1 or 2 of them with the way the head surrounds are in the car and the way the mirrors are done. So that's sometimes frustrating. You're glad to have them. You'd rather do it all yourself, but you just can't. So they're such a big help, and I'm really glad to have one of the best.
Yeah, I agree. They're both our spotters really good guys. Are really talented and understand exactly what the driver's looking for. You get to working with the same guy for a long time, and you sort of get to where you speak the same language, and he knows what you want and don't want. So to have that, you get it as a driver, it just gives you confidence, having somebody that you trust and believe in and knows is going to give you good information. You drive the car with more confidence. You got confidence to do things out there.
We'll go up front to Lee.
Lee Spencer, Motorsport.com. Junior, you had a battle with Chase Elliott. Chase led the most laps today. Can you just talk about how he's matured in this first year? I mean, did you ever expect him out of the box? I mean, I know he's with a great team, but the maturation he showed is pretty incredible.
Well, I don't think you get hired by a team like that unless you're good. I didn't expect him to struggle. I thought that he's got a lot of laps under his belt. He's been in a lot of high pressure situations. Whether it's running his late model somewhere, I mean, the competition is tough in the late model series on those small tracks and in the Xfinity series, the truck series. I mean, he's been in so many scenarios. If you look at his career over the last 4 or 5 years, he's been through it all. Certainly learned a ton. He's got a real good attitude. He's very calm, doesn't get excited about much. And he's got a really, really good crew chief, a guy that I think really is wrapping his arms around the idea, working with Chase and grooming Chase. So the team's doing an amazing job. They were always fast with Jeff, and I think the transition couldn't have been better. Jeff really set that team up for the transition, and all that went so smooth. So just a perfect storm situation for Chase, and he's doing a great job. He's great. He's become a great teammate.
We're going to finish up right here in the middle with Zach.
Zach Sterniola for the Pocono Record for you, Dale. There's been a lot of talk about Toyota's domination over the last really season now, and you come out today and 300 cars beat all the Gibbs cars. It looked like the Chevys had a lot of speed today and had some good fuel mileage there at the end. Do you think that today was an outlier, or do you think that this is a sign of good things to come going forward?
At the start of the race, the Toyotas were up there running good. I saw the 11 struggling a little bit, but I didn't think that would last all day. The 19 was pretty quick. The 18-20 was good. It's just track position late in the race. So we lined up in some good lines and did the right things instead of the wrong things down in turn 1 and didn't lose any positions, maybe gained a position or 2 here and there. It's just so tough on them restarts to take advantage of what's going on around you, even if your car's great. You just got to have everything work out for you. But I don't think that the Toyotas have lost anything. We certainly are getting a little bit better, and we're working hard I know the whole series is working hard to catch the Gibbs stuff.
Gentlemen, congratulations on a strong run. Thank you.